this is Russ. Time to do a little bit of testing of the Magicycle. Yeah, I'm gonna do a follow-up video to the review that I did, but I want to know what the total range is on this bike. Now, of course, this can change based on a lot of factors. We discussed this in another video. Rider weight, wind resistance, tire pressure. What else is there? Pedal assist level, whether you use the throttle or you don't. Yeah, there's a lot of factors involved. So really, whatever I come up with could be different than what you come up with when you're riding. So I decided what I was going to do is I'm going to go back to our typical 3-mile path, and I'm going to stay there all day until I almost exhaust this battery. So I'm doing this early in the morning. It's 6:45 in the morning right now, and the reason is because it's going to be extremely hot today. It's going to head up to 90 degrees. So I figured if I don't do this early in the morning, it's going to be time for me to suffer. So I'm not going to stay out there in that hot sun. So I said 6:45 it is. Go out there early in the morning. All right, now we got to decide whether we turn or we don't here. We got a left turner and a right turner. So we're going to move forward now. Yeah, the very first time I actually fell was right here. See that intersection right there? Yep, that was it. Let's push the button here. That'll give us a walk signal. Yeah, I fell right over here. That was my very first fall. And that was simply because I stopped and I didn't have enough leg strength in my left leg to hold me up. Fell right here. And there's cars, of course, like I mentioned in another video. There was cars. Nobody gets out to help you, of course. Nobody wants to be responsible in case something happened to you. They don't want to be part of let's go this direction. I don't think we've ever done this direction for you new guys. Yeah, no one wants to get sued over something, so they just stay in their cars and watch you suffer as you're down there. I was definitely on the ground. Bike was on top of me. I had to lift the bike off of me and then kind of crawl on my hands and knees, which is not good for a guy who has a knee replacement. So that was the first fall. Second fall was kind of similar. I was turning around and ended up stopping a little bit, and again, left leg, left knee, not strong enough to hold me up. Down I went. Third fall was when my shoelaces got caught. My right shoelace got caught in the pedal, and of course it's wrapping around there. So I said I either take the fall on the right or lean to the left and hope that I can stay vertical. And since I'd already fallen twice on the left, I said that's not an option. Can't afford to risk the knee. So I decided to purposely take the fall on the right-hand side. So those are the 3 falls. So each fall was based on some type of issue. First 2 was stopping issue. Last one was pedal being stuck with your shoelaces wrapped around it. So now my shoes do not have shoelaces on there. Yeah, they're kind of like slip-on sneakers anyways. Those shoelaces there were really just decorative. All right, so today we're checking out what the pedal assist levels will give me. And again, I am a heavy rider. I am 250 plus. And I'm 5'10". And so to do this properly, I think, to get the actual range, I think you got to ride the way you typically would ride. But if I did that, I know that the numbers I would be giving would be a lot lower, because I tend to pedal and throttle at the same time. And morning, how are you guys? Hi. So Yeah, you start seeing people that you might recognize all the time, right? So anyways, I said I can't do that. If I ride the way I normally do, the numbers will be skewed based on me. So I made the decision that I'm going to ride on pedal assist level 3. Now, you know that my pedal assists have been changed based on the way I like to ride it. The Magicycle gives us 1 through 7 pedal assist, but morning. But I changed it to 1 through 5, so I don't even have a 0 because I never ride this thing in 0. Why put it there? The thing is that if you never use 0 and you put 0 through 5, then the minute you start up the bike, it sits at 0. And so you're doing it manually, then there's no help at all. So I figure 1 through 5 is the best. And then I changed the pedal assist levels, because assist level 1 already starts out at 40% of the maximum assist level. I think that's a little too much. So what I did is I changed it and I put it to, what did I do? I did 25% for 1. I think it was like 30, is it 30% to 2? I think, something like that. I can't remember. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop for a second here. Let's take a look at it. Let me angle down so you can see it too. So we go to advanced, power set, 1 to 5, 25, 35, 45, 60, and 80. That's how I currently have it set up. So I'm gonna ride at pedal assist level 3, so I'm gonna be riding at 45% assist. Okay. Oops, sorry, let's get out of that. And I'll have a video specifically showing all these things and how we do it. Okay. Now I usually throttle up when I get up on the bike. Here's what I do. Let me show you real quickly what I do. When I get up on the bike, since it's early in the morning, nobody's on this path. All right, let me angle the camera here. You see my throttle? I have a thumb throttle attached to this now. You don't have to, you can use a standard twist, but I have a thumb throttle. What I do is I step up, let me angle here. It's my left foot. You see my left foot? I have it down on the ground, or as low as the pedal will go. Okay, angle again here. So what I do is I will throttle up, and what that'll do is that'll push the bike forward for me, and then I just simply step up and sit on the saddle. So watch this. Throttle up, it's moving, I step up and sit. So my throttle today will be for things like that. Or if I stop, I will throttle up the same way. I'll throttle up, step up, and sit on the saddle. Okay? And then the pedal level assists will be set at 3, which is, I guess, 45% level at this point. And I'm just gonna go around in the circle over and over until my my power levels drop. Now I changed my my levels here for the battery to a percentage again. So sitting at 100%, I typically like the voltage instead, but for today I said let me leave it the way maybe most people would do it. So I'm leaving it at 100%. And I'll ride this down, I don't know, depends on where I am. I don't want to be stranded out here. All right, going up this hill, I'm going to give it a little bit of a throttle to kind of boost me up a little bit. All right. I don't want to be stranded out here, of course. I want to be able to make it home. So I've got to kind of play the game of how far do I think I've still got to go before I run out of the battery power. So we'll PAS 3, when we go up little hills like this, I may give it a little bit of throttle. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Get me moving. Now, I mentioned before too on the first review that I was doing a slight delay in the pedal assist. Well, I reset everything to factory settings, so I left it at immediate response. The minute I start pedaling, that pedal level assist is kicking in, all right? The way I had it set before is I start pedaling, there'd be probably no reaction for maybe about a second or so, and then it will start. Now, I still recommend that you consider doing that if you don't like an immediate jump of the bike, in the sense that, you know, it'll jerk, because the minute you start pedaling, it starts grabbing immediately. You might want to give yourself a second or so to kind of recoup a little bit from it, and then it'll start up. So it's all personal preference. And what I kind of like about this bike is the fact that I can do that. I can literally change it any way I like it. I can't say that for the other bike that I have, which was the Rover 5. The 5-level assists that they have there are preset. You cannot change the levels. And there is a slight delay. All right, we're going up a hill, so I'm going to use a little bit of a throttle along with pedaling. Now, when I throttle, it's showing that I'm getting a roughly about 500 watts into it. If I throttled hard, we'd hit 900 plus. I don't know what the full maximum is, but somebody said it was over 1100 watts. I don't know how he came up with that number, quite frankly, because I think the maximum that this thing shows is 900 on the meter, but we know it's more than that. I mean, it starts out at 750 as a motor, so the peak has got to be way above it. We just don't exactly know what it is. Morning. So yeah, I'm gonna be tired out today because I won't be doing it the way I normally do it, which is using quite a bit of throttle while I'm pedaling as well. So let's talk about some other stuff while we're riding here. Okay, let's look at my speedometer. Where am I at? I'm averaging 13 miles an hour, it seems. I guess that's average, right? I'm at gear number 6 out of 7, way over here on the right-hand side here. So it's got a decent cadence, 13 to 14 miles an hour. I think a lot of people ride in that range. You guys know I go a little bit faster than that usually. But again, if I do it that way, the numbers are going to be skewed. Yeah, I mean, I can play this thing for whatever I want. I can really max this thing out and it'll have a really low range, but we'll be going really fast. Or I can go really slow and we'd have a huge amount of distance that we can go. So this is why the manufacturers kind of give you a range, because they don't know how you're going to ride. They don't know how heavy you are. They don't know if you're going to use the throttle a lot. So they give you a range. Now, my initial run, riding it the way I typically ride it, which is usually assist level 3 and then throttling half the time while pedaling, I was getting 22, 23 miles, something like that. And people were saying, that doesn't seem like a lot. Well, yeah, that's because of the way I was riding, okay? Today, it might be a different story. Now, I don't even know if I could even last for the amount that this thing can do. I may end up having to split this into 2. Do one day of it, don't recharge it, and then do another day. Because it is new in the season right now. My legs aren't really that strong yet. It's not used to me being on a bike and pedaling the entire time. All right, if I tire out a little bit, I'm just gonna use the throttle slightly to help me along, okay? So I can take a little bit of a rest, otherwise we can't do it. So what I'm doing is I'm monitoring this number here. There's a wattage number there. So I can see here the wattage number is giving me somewhere around between 200, 250, 150. It kind of varies a little bit. I mean, that's still a lot lower than if I was heavy throttling. I mean, at this point, if you think about it, if I kept that number at around the 200 to 200 watts of power, that'd be the same thing as if I was pedaling. Let's see what it is when I'm pedaling. Let's get that number, because then maybe I can do the whole thing, but I can throttle it through. Doesn't matter if you're pedaling or throttling. If that wattage number stays pretty much consistently the same, it's the same thing as pedaling. Okay, so it's showing me roughly in the 250 to, where is it at? 250 to 300 ranges. So if I simply just kept my hand on the throttle and didn't overdo it, I'm trying my best to do it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm trying to stay within the 250 to 300 watts range, which would be roughly about here. All right, which is giving me about 13 miles an hour. This would be the same thing as if I was pedaling. I could just literally stay like this and not pedal at all and still give you an accurate range as if I were pedaling. So the whole point is if you match this wattage number to your pedaling and also to your throttling, it's the same thing as pedal assist because the wattage used is the wattage used. Now, one thing I will say I kind of wish this had, and I know some bikes have it, cruise control. Cruise control, yes. Magicycle, listen. If we can do cruise control, we'd have something really nice. All right, so I'm kind of watching my wattage number here, and I'm noticing I'm showing up as 0 watts. I don't know why that is. Somehow our wattage numbers has cut out. All right, it's back again. I don't know why I did that, but it was kind of going up and down there. It was on, it was off. Here's the thing: if you totally don't pedal and you don't throttle, that number should drop to 0, right? Because then you're definitely just coasting, pedaling again here. Yeah, it's a possibility that maybe the wattage number gets frozen up a little bit if you're throttling at a low throttle. Nobody throttles like that, okay? Usually when they throttle, they want a little bit of boost really quickly. Yeah, we're back to the way it should be at this point, I think. All right. Anyways, I'm going to pedal through. Now, let's talk about some other things. I had somebody recently ask me, which of these two bikes do I like better? All right, let me show you this stop sign. Nobody's here. Let me show you guys this. This stop sign is the entrance and the exit going into the parking lots, okay? The reason I usually pass this stop sign is because there's usually no cars here, and you can see it. There's usually no cars, no people or anything crossing. So that's why when you see me going past the stop sign here, that's the reason, okay? Because it's not a street. Quite frankly, people said, you know, when your cops finally give you a ticket for it, they can't enforce this. They're not on the street. Now, Forest Preserve might be able to enforce it, but local cops are not going to come here and do that. And I don't do it just to avoid cops. I do it because total stopping means jumping off the bike and then getting back on again. All right. I'm going to show you another stop sign too when we get up to this other area and why I blast through that one here too. When you're on this circular path, these stop signs really mean nothing. They really don't. I'll show you. We'll be up there in a bit. All right, percentage-wise, we've gone around at least once. I'm down to 99%. This could be a while. I'm not going to take you through the entire thing, obviously, but I'm going to be out here for a while. All right, here's a stop sign that's here, but only faces the one direction. It doesn't face this direction, but you can see there's one facing the other. Let me show you where this actually leads to and why we blow this one off. Okay. When you go down that path, that entrance to this is gated. No cars are coming down here. This side here, let me show you this side here. All right, and why I don't care about it. Take a look at what's in front of us. That's roped off. No cars get through this area. So in other words, if you stop, you're stopping for nothing. There's no cars coming either direction. All right, let's prove it to you. Let's go down the other direction. Can you guys see that gate? You see this gate? There's nobody coming down this road. It's locked off. Okay, authorized personnel only, it says. It's some type of maintenance thing. So I'm gonna bring that up right now so nobody can say anything later, okay? Because I'll probably blast through these stop signs. All right, let's get back on the path. So no cars that direction, no cars the other directions, okay? So those are the only two stops on this path. And this is when people were mentioning to me that I'm gonna get in trouble for not stopping. That's why nobody stops, all right? Every single bike rider knows this on this path. No cars come through there. The only one that could possibly go through is the parking lot. But your head turns, you're not obstructed from view. You can see if a car's coming or not, or if people are there or not. So the stopping really is kind of worthless. All right, so somebody asked me, get back to what we were talking about. Somebody asked me, which of these two bikes do I like better? You know, that's a hard question to ask and answer because I kind of like them both. I mean, I've ridden the Rad Rover for over 2,800 miles now, something like that. The Magicycle is still, what am I at right now? Let me see here. Whoops, I just passed it. Odometer says 79, okay? 79. We've done 4.4 miles right now. You can cycle through it. It tells you what your average speed is and how long you've been riding. 22 minutes. We've been playing with this thing. Trip is 4.4 miles. You know what I kind of like about this thing? It doesn't reset when you shut off the bike. It only resets if you want it to reset. You go into the menu and say, okay, I want to reset it all. Then it resets it. So that's good because sometimes, you know, you take a break from riding and then the bike shuts off by itself. And you can set that too. You can change how fast it shuts down or not shuts down at all when you take a break. But the trip meter doesn't reset. My Rad, it would totally reset. So after, I don't know what the shut off is. Let's say 9 minutes, okay? I'd have to touch the bike somehow or do something to keep that bike awake. Otherwise you lose your trip meter. So I kind of like the fact that you don't lose it unless you want to lose it. Sometimes we see deer out here. Now they had controlled burns out here. If you go back several videos ago, probably before many of you have actually even became Russ's Right subscribers, you'll see that I was riding through this area and I was saying it's like on fire. We could see them actually burning this area, and they burned everything here to cut down all the weeds and everything like that, so it has new growth. I am actually very shocked. I mean, it was like black. There was nothing here. It was all black. This stuff is growing up already. I always thought if you burn down a plant is dead. Apparently not. plants still keep growing. This whole area has grown back to green already. That is just so surprising to me. Yeah, these plants are hardy, huh? All right, I need a little bit of pedal, a little bit of throttle to get up this hill. I ride, but I'm not that good of a rider. I need a little bit of help. So they asked me, how do you, which of these two bikes do you like better? Well, here's the thing, and I put it in his comment. I just said that, if you want something quick, fast right off the line, you start pedaling and it starts going like crazy, you want the Magicycle. If you want adjustability in the pedal level assist, you want the Magicycle. If you want to be able to get up hills easily, you want the Magicycle. If you want maybe a slightly longer range, maybe you might want the Rad. And the reason I'm guessing this is based on my past experience with the Rad battery before I sold off the Rad battery and started using the triangle batteries from Unit Pack Power. That battery probably gave me 26, 27 miles of range, something like that. And that would be riding with their pedal assist level 2, I think. So I'm gonna guesstimate it has a little more range. And the reason I guess this is because the wattage usage is lower. Rad claims a 750 watt motor. Many of us feel it's actually a 500 watt motor that peaks at 750. Because if you look at their meter, I think I can only get 742 watts out of that on their meter when I throttle hard. Well, if you throttle hard on this bike, if the guy was riding and it was over 1100 watts, you're gonna eat up more power. If you eat up more power, you're gonna get less range, right? So everything comes at a cost, like I said before. If you want the ability to climb those hills, you're gonna pay for it in your range. So which is better? Well, you live in a hillier area, the Magicycle is better. If you live in a flatlands, totally flat, and you don't have to climb hills, you don't need that kind of fast startup times, then the Rad would be better. Now, here's another interesting thing though. Cost. They don't make my Rad Rover 5 anymore. They only have the Rad Rover 6 Plus. That's $1,999, unless you were lucky enough to get the special that they were running during their 15th year anniversary. Then they dropped it $300. They dropped it down to $1,699, and I know at least one of you used my $100 or $50 discount code, and saved a little bit of money there too. So I think that person got their Rad Rover for, I think she said $1,649. Rad usually charges you state sales tax. They give you free shipping, So yeah, that would have been a pretty decent deal for that particular bike. But the Magicycle is $1,799, but they have it on sale for $1,589, $1,599, something like that. And that's for either version now. That's for using using the step over version or the step through version. So they brought the price down lower than when I made my review. So yeah, I don't have the website up in front of me, so I don't know. It's either $1,589 or $1,599. I think it's $1,599. Let's say $1,599. You use the $100 discount code from me. That's now $1,499. Now you might say, well, the Rad has hydraulic brakes. This one doesn't. Oh yeah, you can get hydraulic brakes on this bike. They have an option. They have an option for the $1,799 price. you can get this bike with hydraulic brakes from Tektro together for $17.99. That still makes it $200 less than the Rad, and then you've got a 52 volt battery that is 15 amp hours versus the 48 volt 14 amp hour battery on the Rad. So in that sense, which is the better buy? I would say the Magicycle at this point would be the better buy. And you can still use the $100 discount from Russ is Right. So you take the $17.99, you get hydraulic brakes, breaks it down to $16.99 along with hydraulic brakes versus the $19.99 on the Rad, and 52 volt battery, 15 amp hour. So which do you like better? I don't know. Value wise, that would have to be the Magicycle at this point, right? And by the way, if you do decide to buy the Magicycle, let me say again, please use the link that is in the description of the videos, because that's how I end up getting credit. Essentially, then they'll know that it came from me, and then you use the Russ 100 code. So you got to use the link and the code. All right, that's the way to do it, and that supports my channel. They give me a little commission if you do that. And if that happens, then I get a little more money. I can buy more equipment, make better videos, go to farther places, things like that. So I appreciate it. So now let's talk about the Rad. Why is that a good deal? Why do we like that? Well, it doesn't have that pep, it doesn't have that get up and go, but because it doesn't, it has a very smooth start, I would say. If you're pedaling, like you're from a dead stop and you start pedaling, it has a slight delay and it's very smooth. So you don't get that jolt when it first starts up. On the Magicycle, it can jolt you. I mean, if you didn't change the assist levels like I told you to do, your first initial pedal straight down, it can give you a nice jolt because it's so quick. All right, let's show you here again. Yeah. Nothing there. Nothing there. Yeah, we're gonna blast through these stop signs. So, anyways, because it doesn't give you the jolt, it feels smoother in that sense. Now, realistically, is it smoother? No, it's just slow. It's just slow starting up, and that gives you that nice feel. I kind of like that. That's why I put the delay on this bike, so it kind of emulated the Rad. But the more I kind of thought about it, I said, well, I'm getting used to the bike now. I may not need that delay. I know what it can do. I know that jolt will be there the minute I start pedaling or whatever. So I took it off. So now it's back to immediate. Personally, I don't recommend you do that when you first get the bike. My personal feeling is delay it a little bit until you get used to the bike. Knock down those pedal assist levels until you get used to it. And then if you want to go faster and you want to have an immediate response, then change it back. Yeah, part of me says I kind of wish Rad still had Rad Rover 5 in the $16.99 range. I think they're missing that price range. I mean, their bikes really at this point are either $1,500 or $2,000 for most of their bikes. I think there might be one or two that's in the middle there. Like maybe like a Rad wagon might be like $100 less than that. I don't know. I don't know what their pricing is, but most of their bikes that were in the middle ranges are kind of gone at this point. And I think, personally, I don't think that was a smart move. I think it would have been smarter to keep this bike in the line at $16.99 for those who don't want to spend $2,000 for the Rad Rover 6 Plus. I mean, not everyone needs the hydraulic brakes. You know who needs who needs the hydraulic brakes? Let's talk about that. All right. Who needs it? If you're a guy that rides really fast, you're gonna need it. You want to be able to stop as fast as you can when you're moving that quickly. You're going to want the hydraulic brakes at that point. If you don't like messing with the brakes, the mechanical brakes, you always have to adjust it. You have to. Yeah, see, now that guy passing me, he didn't say he was where he was. He didn't ring. He didn't do anything. So yeah, if you think us e-bikers are giving us bike riders a bad name, yeah, that guy, he's passed me twice now. I didn't even know he was there. Can't even hear him. He didn't say anything. I'm not the only guy, okay? But he probably assumed, hey, this guy's staying where he's at. He's not moving to the left, so he made his pass. So yeah, we've got two bikes that are nice, but it's very hard to say which one I like better. So how am I going to use these bikes? Because I plan to keep both of them. I'm not going to sell this bike off just because the review is over with. I plan to use it. So how am I going to use this? Well, first off, my battery is only the one on this bike. The Rad has two, and they have larger capacity batteries on them. So I think if I go distance riding, I would do the Rad. I kind of feel like if I had more distance ability on this Magicycle, I would take the Magicycle out on the distance. But I only have the one battery. So because I only have the one battery, I'm limited to whatever the range the battery will give me. So this will be the bike that I take around town, or in this general area. So if I go some distance, the Rad will be what I'll be using with the bigger battery powers, longer battery power, I should say. Those are also 52 volt batteries too. So is this Magicycle, but it's 20 amp hours each on the ones that I have on the Rad, but it's 15 amp hours on this one. So if I had a second Magicycle battery, I would be able to take it farther. Like for instance, I go to Bussy Woods. I know if you're not in this area, but Bussy Woods is farther away. I have to ride there to get there because I don't have a bike rack for my car. And I can't even put it on my car. There's another video I did that my Hyundai Elantra is not recommended to put a bike rack on it. I didn't know that. I just bought that car. Well, I leased the car for 3 years, but I bought it outright afterwards. But now I find I can't even put anything on it. So I can't take the bike on that car. So the only vehicle that we can do it on would be the SUV that we own, but that's my wife's car, and she uses it to go to work. So I really don't have an access to a vehicle that I can use to put a bike rack. So I have to ride it. If I want to go anywhere, I got to ride there. So that's why I went and changed out the batteries on the original Rad power bike so that I can ride the distances. I mean, I rode that bike all the way to the Botanic Gardens, so round trip was like 64 miles, and I still had battery power left. I'm just adjusting my mirrors a little bit there so I can see. I've yet to be able to dial in this mirror. I mean, all right, sometimes you have to lean over to see the mirrors a little bit, because your shoulder is in the way and all that. So I try my best to kind of angle these things exactly so that the minute I just take a peek, I can see it. And I'm always trying to mess with it. And then, of course, when I park the bike in the garage, it always gets hit. You're walking past it, you get hit, and then that messes the mirror up again. Anyways, so where are we at? I'm at 88%. When I throttle, I'm throttling very small amounts. just to kind of get me over the hump here. And the rest has been pedal assist level 3, which I believe it's been set for, what did I say it was, 45% help. 8.3 miles so far. Let's see what else it tells me. My odometer is set for 83 miles I've had on this bike so far. My maximum speed has been 18.7 miles per hour today. My average is 12.5 miles per hour. I've been on the bike for 40 minutes now. Back to my trip meter of 8.4 miles. So yeah, it's got good management of your time and your speeds. It tells you where you are. Current time is 7:25 a.m. It's gonna get warmer. Definitely it's gonna get warmer. I hope to finish most of this today, if I can make it. I'm already petering out now. I don't have the energy to keep just pedaling. So I'm using the throttle judiciously. I'm getting about 200 watts of power. 200. It varies, you know, like I said, it goes up and down. But I'd say between 200 and 250. And that's helping me along. That is the equivalent of a pedal assist going. I'm not maxing it out. Anyways, I think that's enough for today. I'm going to continue on, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up this conversation. This video will probably come out on Saturday when you guys see it. So I'm going to make you a Monday video with the same exact ride, but we're going to talk about different topics. Somebody told me once that it's not what you ride and where you're going. You know, the scenery is nice, but it's what you're talking about that they're interested in. I hope that's the case for you guys too, that the topics that I bring up are topics you're interested in listening to, and not necessarily just the locations that we're at, because obviously I can't ride everywhere totally different. There's no possible way for me to do that, and a lot of times I have to stay where I can go for that day. Some other places are farther distances, so I can't do it all the time. So anyways, good enough for today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.